Home with AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms. We design, manufacture and install your perfect kitchen or bedroom to your personal space and taste with clever storage utilising every inch. We pride ourselves on our exquisite attention to detail. Let AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms plan your perfectly tailored space fitted around you. We also offer bespoke services for understairs storage, TV units and feature walls, all designed and manufactured by us. Call us now on 01733 686 767 or visit abjkitchensandbedrooms.co.uk. Open to the trade and public. AB Joinery Kitchens and Bedrooms, Unit 3 Brassey Close, Peterborough, PE1 2AZ. Plan your dream home with us. abjkitchensandbedrooms.co.uk.
हर कदम पर एहतियात से सड़क पार करना, फुटपाथ पर फैलाए बगैर पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट पर खाली जगह का ख्याल रखना, शॉपिंग ट्रॉलीज के दरमियान फासिला रखना। हर वो शख्स जो बाहर जाने पर मुनासिब दूरी बनाए रखता है वो कोविड-19 को फैलने से रोकने में मदद दे रहा है, क्योंकि हर 3 में से एक शख्स जिसकी अलामात भी जाहिर नहीं होती वो अनजाने में इसे फैला सकता है। इन चीजों से फर्क पड़ता है। आइए ऐसा करते रहें। घर रहिए, NHS को तहफ्फुज़ दीजिए, जिंदगियां बचाइए।
Peterborough's community radio station, Salaam Radio.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Salaam Radio, Salaam Sports. Yes, we are back. And as you may have already noticed, our main presenter, talker, is not here with us today, Imtiaz. But I have my favourite brother, Arif. Assalamu alaikum, Arif. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, Sadat. Lovely to see you again. And am I your favourite then?
You are when nobody else is here.
Mashallah, mashallah. I'm very happy for that. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a miss not having Imtiaz on the show today.
Yeah, Imtiaz will be unavailable probably till, I think it was told of May sometime, because he's doing his elections.
Wow.
So he's unable to attend. But he's here in spirit.
Yeah, congratulations to Image on his elections. Wish him all the best.
All the best. All the best indeed.
Definitely.
Let me do the household thing, calling in numbers and text and everything. I've got to get used to this, you know what I mean? No, Imtiaz doesn't let us round this area and this.
He always does.
Buttons.
He's always said Sadat's a main man.
Yeah. So studio number 01733602133. If you want to text, it's 07411191062. As always, live on Facebook, YouTube, and other social medias, which I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment. But there we go. And of course, you know who we have to say hi to, don't we?
Who's that?
Luton.
To Luton.
To Luton, 105.1 Inspire FM. Wow, okay, let's crack on with this, shall we? So you weren't with us last week.
No, unfortunately, I wasn't. I was a little bit under the weather last week.
So glad to hear you are well. But we had an interesting discussion. I mean, we got, first I'll tell the topics we got today. We got the usual cricket, F1, boxing, and then football in the second half. But whilst we're talking about football in the second half, I want to touch something was on racism that we discussed last week with the Rangers incident. It was a very interesting discussion. And the reason I bring it up again is because there's been another incident in these international games with the Welsh players. Again, apologies if I pronounced their name wrong. It's Ben Cabango and Rabi Mantando, who were racially abused on social media. Now, there's investigations going on, but this seems to be like it's an everyday news.
Yeah, it's getting to the point now where it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's extremely difficult for majority of the players who are involved in this to listen to all the racist stuff that's going out, and even general public what can I say, it's getting worse.
Well, I read somewhere that Thierry Henry he's abandoning all social media. He's not getting involved with any social media. He's probably taken off his accounts or something. I mean, what is the next step players or anybody can do to try to stop this? Because clearly It's just not happening.
I think players need to probably any racist language being used against them, they should walk off the pitch.
Off the pitch.
Look, you've got to make a statement, and right now, all the other statements out the players have made, the public has made, the media's made, they're not working.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes you have to take drastic actions. It's going to affect the game for that period, but long term more has to be done, and we keep talking about this, and if anything it's actually got worse, rather than getting better.
Point raised last week.
Especially with social media. I do believe, look, if it happens in England, or it happens in the UK, the government needs to get involved, and by that I mean they need to try to find the culprits, and look, you've got to, it's got to go on a record, criminal record or something. As harsh as it may sound, you've got to drive racism out. Yeah,
because I mean, like I say, with Thierry Henry banning social media, social media can be used for good. I mean, we've had players such as Marcus Rashford using social media to change
massively,
things. And so we don't want them to completely, disregard social media, because it's out there for good as well. It's just these, I say, individuals or certain, I say a handful, it's more than a handful really, people that do it, and then it's ruined it for everybody else.
Yeah, so we've had this topic, we've discussed this before. We haven't discussed it as a, the platform is being used for racism, but more has to be done. I think the people that can make the difference, if they can get together, should make a little bit difference. Even taking the knee doesn't look like it's done enough.
No, Saha stopped, hasn't he?
Saha's stopped. And fair play to the guy. He's got his own reasons to stop. Maybe he's looking at doing something different, which might make more of a difference.
Well, interesting, and it is a question for you. I know, obviously, very high link with FC Peterborough and grassroots football. And we have, as when I'm coaching the under 11s and under 12s now, done minute silence or 30 seconds for incidents that happened from memory, etc. But I don't recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, have we done anything, or have we been, when I don't say have we, I don't mean as the club, has grassroots football, FA, done anything in relation to Black Lives Matter, anti-racism, such as taking the knee or anything like that? I know it's been a limited season, but...
Yeah, I don't think a lot's happened with that in relation to... I've not come across any emails that the grassroots have sent asking, to be more vigilant and maybe to take a knee or support the actions of Black Lives Matters.
Yeah, so there's really been little to none communication sent out from the FA.
So... that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
My views are a little bit hard and harsh sometimes. I think more can be done. With Sadat, you've been playing football for a number of years.
Yep.
We've always seen racism. In fact, over the last few years, there's been a rise, and whenever you speak to the FA or the FA come on these social events. They as much as that sounds pretty harsh and pretty hard from me, not enough's being done from the FA because they can't understand it. And why can't they understand it? Because within their systems, majority of people are of one background, and they don't understand racism as much as they should. And a lot of it is down to education.
Agree, right? Education, one thing. Is it? Unless they haven't suffered it themselves, they don't understand it.
Yeah, definitely. You can't ask a white Englishman about racism, what people of color feel or Asians feel, because they won't understand it. They don't understand the jibes. They don't understand when somebody's looking at you and in a certain fashion or whatever. You can see it and you can understand it. It's it goes around all the time.
Yeah, I mean in football, like you say, we get horrendous challenges double footed challenges
Yeah.
and things like you get up and you play the game. But the racist comments and remarks when you receive on a football pitch is much worse than a challenge that could injure you.
Yeah, that's the hurtful thing, isn't it? I mean, you can take a challenge, you can get kicked on the pitch, you can kick back on the pitch, and that sort of pain, you can accept.
Yeah, you take it as part
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
game sort of thing.
But the racism is something that you shouldn't never have to part with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I said, not enough's been done even at grassroots football. There needs to be more awareness on that. As a club, FC Peterborough have made themselves, more aware. The league officials, the leagues with this, but what can you do? What can you say? You can only keep trying, keep on fighting it. Some people, as discussed earlier on, Saha has decided not to take the knee because he feels it probably hasn't done enough of it. And sometimes you've got to ask yourself, is it, a tick box exercise?
Well, it feels like that, doesn't it? It started off something's happening,
absolutely.
But they went no further.
Yeah, it feels like that. I mean,
and I think they've just got to stop it. They're going to stop it at the end of the season. They haven't sort of said, "Oh, we'll stop it," but you can't see them stopping it in the mid-season.
Yeah.
So I would assume they're going to stop it at the end of the season.
So they're
But
going to stop.
next?
They're going to stop
It's
it.
a pure assumption.
Yeah.
I can't imagine them going on for a whole another season because, I mean, what ground was it where the banner was coming out on the planes and stuff like that? I think it was Burnley, and Burnley came out apologised. It wasn't nothing to do with the club. There's people obviously doing it, and I would assume you would get a different reaction with fans in the stadium when you take a knee. You will have that handful of fans who will start, booing, won't be accepting it, and it causing more controversy than anything. So I'm stumped, to be honest. If anyone knows anything out there, what they should do or what we should be doing even more, especially at the Premier League at a higher level, then please, comment.
Would like to get a few comments on that, and it'd be nice to have that discussion. I think you guys are sort of had this discussion last week, obviously with the Rangers incident as well. So
we were quite so we were happy with the way Gerrard and Rangers as a club handled it, but nothing's happened since. There was calls for Spartak Prague, I believe it was the team who now play Arsenal. There was calls for them to be thrown out, but it comes to that, and the same thing we've had at grassroots football. Well, he said this, he said that, but there's no proof, there's no evidence. You clearly watched the video. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've not seen it.
The player comes up calmly and then puts his hand over his mouth and says something and just walks away, which causes a reaction. What could he have said to him that causes a reaction? Professional players. He's not going to just say, I don't like your fashion style or anything like that. He's going to say something really offensive.
Yeah, he's probably said something really offensive.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know what he said. They've the Scottish FA and the European leagues have probably got more of an information on what's been said, and it needs to be zero tolerance on that.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes abandoning the game is the way forward. Look, I say that with a heavy heart, and but we've got no choice.
But will be clubs then taking it in their own hands, the matter in their own hands, in the sense because if you had what was it in the international games where you had the one warning? That's because it was the crowd, wasn't it? Obviously you hear it, and then the crowd's okay, you get a warning, and otherwise we'll walk off. But if a player says it to another player on the pitch, it's going to be, I assume, that player either shows his reaction like he did, or goes to his manager or to his teammates, and they decide, okay, we're going to walk off. Now it's going to affect the club. But is it the right thing to do? Was it that's what they've got to start doing? I mean,
you've got to. Something's got to be done, Sadat. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
I think in terms of who's going to suffer? The fans are going to suffer, of course. But what other things can we do?
We've got a caller online at the moment. Yes, Bilal Javid is calling in. So let's see if we can hear me. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, can you hear me? Oh, let me put the phone on. Oh, look at this. Check this out. These buttons. It's Image. He's messaging me. He says, don't touch anything. So I'm not touching anything.
Can you hear me?
Hey, assalamu alaikum. Yes, of course I can hear you, brother. How are you?
How you doing? You okay?
Alhamdulillah. How are you? How's everybody? Family good?
Yeah, family all good. Just working away and just going through this lockdown really.
Assalamu alaikum, Hamad. How are you doing? Everything okay?
Yeah, it's Bilal, but yeah, I'm good.
Oh, sorry. Do you know what? I did
Bilal,
have.
Hamad, it's all the same.
No, it's not the same. We shouldn't put it out like that. There's a lot of stuff going on. So apologies for that. The reason I said that is because I actually spoke to Hamad sort of after 20 minutes ago. But yeah, lovely to speak to you.
Thank you guys.
So, Bilal, what have you got for us? I'm assuming mainly boxing.
Yes.
So I can't imagine you're going to talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, that's very good as well. So, no, I think what a fight last night. You know, White versus Povetkin. I was very nervous because, I always love following our fellow Brits. And with what happened last time, that devastating knockout, when Dillian White was winning the fight, but, heavyweight boxing or even boxing in general, just that one punch can just put an end to everything. He lost a bit of focus. He took that shot, and that's it. Dillian White was gone, and it was quite a heavy knockout.
Yeah, it was in the fourth round. I watched the game itself. So what in the first one? Remind me.
Is it a game or is it a fight?
Sorry, the fight.
Okay, just thought.
Yeah, and obviously, so as you guys all know, the first fight between White and Povetkin won by 8th round knockout.
Eighth round,
punch come out of nowhere, and Dillian White was winning. As a boxer, you can imagine how Dillian White would be feeling. And for him to, and I actually thought, I was quite nervous because, they've had the rematch yesterday. I thought, this is going to be a big test for Dillian White because knowing that this person had knocked him out quite badly,
Is it mentally a big test or, because on paper we expect White to win like we expect him to win the first game?
I thought Dillian White was going to play a bit safe and win on points, so keep away from that big hand and basically boxing.
There was a lot of people saying that, a lot of pundits said that they didn't think White was going to win this, Dillian White. So the pundits got it wrong. And
yeah, it's mainly because of how bad the knockout was. Dillian White, came in the ring. I was looking at his, his eyes, his body language, and you could see that he's focused and serious. But what surprised me was Povetkin. He looked at his usual chilled out self, but he didn't really get going. And I mean, is that a combination of Dillian White just going for him and basically just putting it on him, kind of thing?
I think you, Bilal, you're the expert when it comes to boxing. Obviously, you've done boxing before. Yeah, I saw that fight. Must admit, I don't watch a lot of fights nowadays as I used to, but
only the big ones.
only the big ones, yeah. So I really enjoyed that fight, and I enjoyed it for a number of reasons because both of them did try to come out. You knew that it was gonna, any one of them could have taken that knockout punch.
Oh yeah, it's always like that in heavyweight.
Dillian White, he did look good though. In terms of
he was 5 pounds lighter than what he was in the first fight. Dillian normally does walk around a bit heavy, but I mean this time it was 5 pounds lighter. I think that's what made me think that, you know what, he's lost a bit more weight just to be a bit more light on his feet and stay out of range. A bit like how Anthony Joshua beat Ruiz in his rematch, where Anthony Joshua was literally on the outside and literally outboxed him. For the fans, it might not look pretty, but he did what he did to win. But Dillian White, oh my God, considering what happened and how he came back and those devastating shots, it was amazing. I was actually so happy for him.
It was, and I'll tell you what, the amazing thing was that he's put his name back on the map.
Yes, he's back in the mix.
He's back in the mix, and do you know what? You couldn't.
You say he's back in the mix, but who's going to fight next? Because Joshua and Fury got a 2-match contract, I believe.
Yeah, so Wilder is a name that they're trying to.
Yeah.
So basically, what's going to happen now is he's back in the mix with the world class boxers for a title. Now Eddie Hearn wants to take him over to America and fight there. With the American exposure, he's wrong, as we know from Amir, from him going to America and his career. That took a massive lift when he went there. Same as any other UK fighters. If you really want to make a name for yourself in the whole world, you need to go out to America as well and have some big fights there because of the exposure. So the next thing now, Dillian White's been quite unlucky because he's always been up there in terms of challenging for world titles.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting them fights. But now, if they take him to America and they say, for example, they get the Wilder fight done, that will be huge for him.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive fight, isn't it?
The big fights you'll get, and that's where it is.
Yeah.
But
is it, what's his name?
Povetkin.
He didn't look like,
He looked a bit lost.
Yeah, he looked in terms of. I considering he actually beat Dillian White last time, you'd expect him to put a better fight, but he was totally outboxed and outclassed.
I suppose mentally he thought as well. 8 rounds last time I really wasn't in it until that one punch.
Yeah,
and so that's got to affect him as well.
Yeah, but confidence would have been sky high.
Yep.
You'd have expected him to get further up. So, Bilal, going on to something a little bit still related with boxing. Obviously, we've got a showman boxer as well, Amir Khan. Now he's doing a doc. Is it a documentary he's doing?
Yeah, so he's got Meet the Khan. So him and his Mrs. Faryal, they both done. They've been filming for about 8-9 months, and they've.
Are we going to see you in it?
So basically, it's on. So Meet the Khan's 8 episodes. It is already available now to download from BBC iPlayer, so you can download all 8 episodes.
Oh, okay.
So just about everything about their life and boxing and the Bolton, their marriage, everything. So it's basically all about them.
Might be quite interesting to tune in and get a bit of gossip.
Have you seen it? No.
What happened was basically, I started watching some of it already, and I got into episode 4, and I sort of wanted to watch it also because of. So basically, as you guys know, we've got the Amir Khan Academy in Peterborough, a top school of boxing.
Brilliant, yeah.
And so me and my son Adam, we went to Bolton. I think it was about 5-6 months ago.
Okay.
And that time, Amir was doing his training sessions, and he was like, "Look, why don't you come down? We'll do a little training." So I went to Huddersfield. I got family there, and Bolton's only half an hour. So me and Adam both went. We just had our tops on and stuff. And when we got there, Amir was like, good timing. We've got the BBC here. They're going to be doing filming. I was like, oh, okay. So just like caught us out of blue. So, and I think the good thing was I just watched episode 4, and there's a good 5-minute clip, and it's about Adam mentoring. Amir mentoring my son Adam. Talking to him about boxing.
That's brilliant.
Adam throwing some punches and shadow boxing, and I'm taking him a bit on the pads. And then
what episode was that? Did you say? Sorry. What episode was it?
So that's episode 4. In the beginning, you'll see the first 5 to 7 minutes, and it's all about and I think that's brilliant because we've got good exposure for Top Yard, our boxing club in Peterborough, good for the kids as well.
Yeah, good for the community really as well. And I think
brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I think you being part of the show, are they looking to give you a sort of a bigger role in it next time? Maybe do your own show or something.
Well, just no.
a little song.
I mean, if they so what I've spoke to the BBC about is that. Because we've got an Amir Khan Academy, it shows what he's bringing back, what Amir is giving back to the community.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the kind of buzz. And obviously he's been to our academy a few times. And I think what I try to say to them is, why don't you do a filming at our academy in Peterborough to basically give that, it'll be a good exposure. And it shows
definitely.
Kind of good for the kids as well, good for the coaches, basically for the whole of Peterborough. So what they've said is, if they were to get a second season commissioned, they've verbally sort of said, we'll do something in Peterborough at the academy, because it's you've got to give credit where it's due of what he's doing for like an academy, and it's in Peterborough, and we've got some great fighters at the club, and it's brilliant.
I think what he's doing and what you guys are doing is obviously for the community, and getting kids off the street. That's the most important thing, isn't it? Giving them a skill, and hopefully that'll. You got to promise me, Bilal, when that inshallah gets arranged and everything, you let us know when he's coming over, so I can, Bollywood, I can see. I can get in there. Listen, Bilal, all we want is me and Sadat in the ring.
Yeah,
we just want
that day.
We just want that 1 minute.
On that day when he's there with the BBC, who do you think would win?
What? Arif versus you?
Yeah, I know you said Arif was shocked there because I know
Arif versus you. I think I think Arif will do to you what Dylan White did to Povetkin.
I've got
man.
I've got control of these buttons. You're gone now. But Al-Hafiz, thank you very much for calling in. Bye.
Okay.
But I think it's brilliant for the academy. You know, it's brilliant for Peterborough. We're getting celebrities like Amir Khan coming in, and you know, they're the ones that are gonna, you know, kids will aspire to. You know, they think if he's done it, you know, you always end up getting.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, a percentage of kids that have got that talent, and they take it as far as they can.
A few comments from Facebook, sorry, as well. You're on the line as well, Bilal. Is saying yes, Ishi, on Facebook, saying yes, he would love to see this fight. And obviously, we all know Ishi knows a lot more about boxing. He says Sadat will win easy. There you go.
I got a lot of love for Ishi as well. I hope he's enjoying himself. I think he's in Pakistan at the moment.
Issues in Pakistan, yeah. So
I got another comment coming in fast. Cami saying yes, that would smash him. Smash him.
Do you know what?
I put the penalties away, but you missed.
I think we'll get Cami. We've got to do it for charity. Yeah,
Cami's not a bad boxer, you know. Cami's not a bad boxer.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen him on the pitch. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh, we've seen him on the pitch. Yeah, he's done. He does verbal boxing normally.
No. I tell you what, he's not a bad boxer. You know, don't be fooled.
No, there's comments coming in and saying that people. Ishi is saying he's seen what your boy has done to Arif, so. He's saying,
I think Arif doesn't want to talk about that.
I don't talk about that. Yeah, that you know, he's quite a bit younger than me. I had to take it easy, and plus, every time I was, what actually happened is we had a little bit of a boxing thing some time ago, and do you know what? His son, how old is your son?
He's 12 now.
He's 12. So, you know, he's 12 and he wanted to box, and I just let him hit me a few times. I didn't want to hit him back because I could see Bilal nearby, and he was looking at me, and I thought, you know, if
you know what made me laugh was when he hit you with a body shot, and you know your back leg, it just went a bit funny. And I panicked a bit. I think that's what amazed me.
Yeah.
So I'm quite happy that
he's got a good punch. He's got a good punch.
I swear, we'll have to get you in the studio to talk about this, but we're going into a break. Thank you very much for your call, Bilal. Good luck for the future.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
The show.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Allah-Hafiz. Yeah, so we've got. Oh my God, we haven't talked about cricket. So second half, we'll talk a bit about cricket.
Well, let's go to
Football One, FA1, F1, and football as always. But we're going on a break, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side of this break. This is much better than Images being here. To be honest, I'm doing a great job.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Look, I'm timing the breaks perfectly. Everything. So see you after the break, inshallah. Take care. Bye.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Bowel cancer screening saves lives. If you're aged 60 to 74, the NHS will send you a free bowel cancer home testing kit every 2 years. Please complete the home testing kit when you receive it. It's easy and hygienic to use your kit, and it could save your life. Find out more by visiting Cambridgeshire and Peterborough ccg.nhs.uk and searching bowel cancer.
If you want to lose weight, it's not about getting it right, but getting started. Healthy changes start with little changes, one way or another. And help you to feel better, inside and out, so you'll be healthier and more able to fight diseases. The NHS has lots of ideas to help you lose weight. Search Better Health. Let's do this.
Desi Restaurant is open, so why not order now for your family meal tonight? We've got fish pakora, chicken pakora, charga steamed chicken, lamb and vegetable samosas, biryani, pizza, faluda, jalebi, gulab jamun, samosa chaat, fresh chicken and lamb handi, Lahori channa and much more. We've got it all at Desi Restaurant. Special offer, Niari Opaya with 1 naan or roti only £6. Special lunchtime offer from noon to 4 p.m. Chicken or lamb curry and 2 roti only £6. Mixed veg curry or tarka dal and 2 roti only £5. Order now at desirestaurantonline.com and pay online safely, or call us on 01733 555 795. Delivery available, or you can collect for a 10% discount. 298 Lincoln Road, Peterborough, PE1 2ND. Desi Restaurant, the trusted family favourite in Peterborough.
Every soap grabbed, every tap turned, every 20-second hand wash the moment we get home, every sanitizer bottle searched for in our bag every time we pick up a package or have to go into a shop. Everyone who keeps their hands clean is helping stop the spread of COVID-19. Because anyone can catch it, and anyone can spread it. Everything we're doing is making a difference. Let's keep going. Stay home. Protect the NHS. Save lives.
Park Foods now has free car parking. That's right, park for free for up to 1 hour at Park Foods, the largest ethnic supermarket chain in the East Midlands, now open in Peterborough with the biggest ethnic supermarket in Cambridgeshire. Fresh quality fruit, vegetables, dairy produce, halal meat and poultry delivered to us every day. Park Foods carry a huge range of brands from around the world and thousands of products in our daily use household range, and all under one roof for a one-stop shop experience. Shop in comfort and safety in our large, clean and friendly store. Come and try the difference. All government COVID-19 rules followed. Park Foods, 232 Lincoln Road, Peterborough, PE1 2NE. Open 8:30 to 8 Monday to Saturday and 11 to 5 on Sunday. Remember, now park for free for up to 1 hour. No more pay and display. Yet another reason to shop with ease at Park Foods.
You're listening to Peterborough's community radio, Salaam Radio. Salaam Radio. 106.2 FM.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحاقة ما الحاقة وما أدراك ما الحاقة كذبت ثمود وعاد.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to the second half of Salaam Sports. Let me do some housekeeping because throughout that wonderful conversation with Bilal, there has been some people on Facebook which have not said hi to. As we all know, Alam Iqbal is watching, he says hi. Ishi, who we all know is watching and says hi, is currently in Pakistan having a munch in Tulip Hotel. Stay safe out there, Ishi. I believe the lockdown is happening again in Pakistan. Kami's watching, Shazad Ali's watching, and our own Amr Suleiman is watching.
And Nabil's on there as well.
Nabil's on there as well. Well, I have somebody else who's on the line. It's our very own Bidan. Let me see if I can get him in. Here we go. Hello, Bidan. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, yeah. I can hear you. See, he said I can't work this thing. Yes. Much better. We can do this without him.
Brilliant. So how are you, Badan? Have you been watching any of the recent Euros?
I'm watching it's the World Cup qualifiers, I think.
It's the World Cup, is it?
Kazakhstan versus France. I'm currently watching 2-0 to France. Obviously, wouldn't expect Kazakhstan to put up that much of a fight against the world champions. But to be honest with you, it's been an entertaining game, and Mbappe's just missed a penalty. But yeah, it's just very regulation stuff.
Well, they need to win. They drew their first game, didn't they, France?
Yeah, they did. I mean, Griezmann scored a belter, but then I think, was it Ukraine against? I think it might have been Ukraine, and then Ukraine equalised, and then now they're winning this one, though.
You'd expect them to get through from this group anyway, I presume, quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's France, isn't it? I mean, what I find interesting about France is that they've got all of these big names, but sometimes, like Deschamps, he does leave people at home and leave people on the bench who you thought, hold on, they'd start for any other team in the world. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and he sometimes puts in people in the first 11 who aren't as strong as people that he's left on the bench or left out, because I think for him it's about the team dynamic. So I think that,
he is blessed. He's blessed with some quality footballers, though, in terms of the French probably have got some real outstanding world-class players at the moment, compared to a lot of other clubs.
That Laporte doesn't even get in the get in the squad. And I would put Laporte in there because today he started with Longley and Zuma. And he's got Luca Dean of Everton in there.
Has he?
So I was just thinking, it's like, those aren't like names where you think, wow. But, Laporte is, for me, was one of the best defenders in the Premier League when he had that great season.
They can afford to do that in this game. They
I think, Kazakhstan is probably thinking, let's get a few other players in.
Yeah, because you put Martial in ahead of Mbappe, and as big a Man United fan as I am, obviously, Martial is not in the league of Mbappe, and he missed an open goal as well. So it's not in.
He's a little bit of an enigma, isn't he?
Who, Martial?
Yeah, such a talent.
I don't know. Look, Nani had talent. Nani was more talented than Martial, but. We never quite managed to get.
Nani was surrounded with bigger players as well, though, isn't he? So I think that's a bit high ratio with the form that United.
Not really. I agree with Badan. I think Nani was a better player in terms of what he used to do on the pitch. He was very silky, but getting to that top. Badan, it's not that easy, is it, to get into that?
Yeah, obviously they've got the skills, but Martial just lacks hunger for me. He just seems a bit like he's too cool to put in a bit of running.
He comes across like that, but do you know what? People who tend to play in his position on that sort of left-hand side or right-hand side, or a little bit, they do get accused of being, lazy sometimes.
Images put a comment in, sorry, but I'm just interrupt there. French football benefiting from their colonial past, and it's just, I don't know. I think France. Do you think they'll win it this World Cup? Do you think they're up there, champions?
Well, look, I was looking at this and there's obviously some people with insane squads. I mean, I know they drew last night, but Portugal's squad insane. You've got like we were saying, Cancelo, one of the best right fullbacks in the Premier League. Ruben Diaz, one of the best centres, and you've got centre halves, and you've got Bruno Fernandes, João Felix.
Wow, look at that
Bernardo
team.
Silva. Jota got a couple of goals last night. And,
quality player, quality.
Yeah, he is. I mean, obviously, look, he's got a big task on his hands to come in and take that Firmino role, because Firmino, obviously, Image isn't here to come up with the phrase that he always comes out with in terms of the Gengen press and reverse defensive striker.
Who? Sorry.
Firmino.
Image. No, it's like who's Image? You've got him already.
It's not very nice of you, Sadat. Didn't expect that.
I have the power.
Jota actually, one thing that Jota did actually do was like last night, this Milenkovic player that everyone's talking about, the centre half that United are looking at. Jota peeled off Milenkovic, and Milenkovic lost him, and Jota scored, and he got sent off at the end as well. So he's not. United might be rethinking signing him, to be honest with you. But yeah, Portugal have got a great team. France have got a great team.
Well,
Belgium.
Sticking with France and Martial point.
What about Belgium? I think Belgium's only thing is their defenders are over 30, aren't they?
Yeah, they drew last night, and obviously the thing is with Lukaku is that he is an enigma. Is that his goal scoring record is just contrary to you watch him play. His touches is all over the place. His movement isn't great and all that, but he does put the ball
in
away.
The net, yeah.
And he's so he scored last night, but to rescue again for them, look, they've got Roberto Martinez as manager, which is just bizarre, I think. And I don't know. I mean, I'd say semi-finals for Belgium. France could win it, yeah, but it's very rare that I know that the last team to be World Cup and European Championship winners at the same time was France, but. They could do it. You can't count out Germany. Like I said, Portugal, again, they should have won. That was shocking what happened last night with Portugal with the disallowed goal. And,
do you think that was a great response from Ronaldo to walk off?
You shouldn't throw the captain's
arm. Yeah, he threw that.
Throw it down is a bit disrespectful, unless it had a UEFA symbol on it, and that's what he was trying to. That's what he was trying to do. But
are they not using? Correct me. Are they not using then technology in these qualifiers or in the tournaments?
I'm not sure whether everyone's not using it or whether there's certain I've got no idea. I've heard this. I know in the FA Cup that I think it's that if
If both
not everyone
all the
can
rounds,
use it
everyone in the
enough.
same round
Yeah,
have it, so the Premier
something
League
like
teams,
that.
etc. Yeah, that's fine. The goal line technology, I thought everybody had the goal line.
Yeah, you'd expect it. I mean, you'd expect them if they've rolled it out for, the clubs. You'd expect them to roll it out for these sort of World Cup
I think
qualifiers.
the most shocking thing was the follow-up shot. He should have buried it. I don't know who it was.
But Dan, you've mentioned quite a few clubs. For quite a few countries, you think are in there with a shout. Okay, one team we haven't mentioned is England.
Smashed San Marino, didn't they?
So look, it's to tell you, I don't know whether you know, but they're doing something really weird with the England with the World Under 21 European Under 21 Championships at the minute, where they're playing the group games at the time. I mean, at the same time as these qualifiers. So, and again, like we've sent a really strong side to that tournament, like Hudson-Odoi, Greenwood. All players of that caliber that are household Premier League names.
This is on the under 21s, yeah.
Is that the qualifiers as well, or that?
I think it's the actual tournament.
Oh, so right.
And
so they can come in for the games later after that tournament's finished. So that Hudson-Odoi, Greenwood, and
they lost their first game to Switzerland.
Ooh.
So it's like just goes to show that look, we can have the best players at any level. Right, and I just worry about England because the style of play that Southgate has got, where he tries to play out from the back, I don't think we've got the players to play out from the back.
So England got to what was it, the quarterfinals or semi-finals in last tournament?
Semi-finals.
Semi-finals,
yeah.
Out to Croatia.
The point I was making before that I didn't quite finish was that I think we can have at any level the best players, but I think we just don't know, or that maybe the players we produce aren't suited to tournament football, or when we get to the tournaments, we don't know what to do. I know we had a couple of years where our under-19s and under-17s won the World Championships, but it was just, I just think, we're not going to be able to.
One thing I've always said, and correct me if I'm wrong, or Sadat can jump in as well, is, England individually have got some fantastic players, great players, but collectively they struggle to do it. And sometimes that little bit of quality, I'm talking about technical ability, that top notch, they, sometimes they just don't do the right thing at times, when they should be.
It's interesting you say that. I once had this conversation with Image, actually, and we were talking about like Germany. You look at Germany, they never really, like, when Ozil came on the scene, I'm just like, that's the first player.
Yeah.
And I know Mateus was a great player, but it's the first player I ever saw when I thought, he's actually like got like this flair.
Yeah.
And he's got this thing that you can't teach. Right, and all the other German players of the past, they're just like very basic, very methodical.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they do well at the tournaments, don't they?
Yeah.
So I just think that, with England, it might be just a lack of evolution in the coaching or in the sort of, and I know they're trying to rectify that through St. George's Park and all of these committees, and, having Southgate as a manager is the kind of symptom of that. The way they're trying to rectify things, but I don't know. It's like, I just don't trust our players in the latter stages of the tournament. Do you know what I mean? Like, and also some of our players they're good, but like, will Mason Mount do it on a world stage? Can Declan Rice do it on a world stage? I mean, like Rashford, I don't know. I think is he at the top level? Like, he's not at the level of Mbappe, or is never mind your Ronaldos or all that kind of thing. So, like, and Harry Kane...
He's had a good season, though. I mean, he's just turned 23.
Got 22 goals this season, hasn't he? Which is good.
Yeah, and you know what? And I was talking to one of my friends about him, and the topic was the fact that for me, I think now he needs to produce that top level stuff. He's already done well in the Premiership, but now he needs to convert into being that top world-class player.
Let me ask a question then. Do you think, two things, do you think England are a better team, is what I was saying, when they reached the semi-finals in the previous tournaments? And a comment from Mohib saying, no need to worry, Lingardinho is back. It's coming home.
Well, Lingardinho had a good 2018 World Cup. He did. He was actually quite good. And To answer your question, do I think that we're better? Well, obviously, look, your Fodens, your Mounts have come through, and like we talked about, Luke Shaw is now has become a better player. You got Reece James has come through, so we are looking like
better
potentially
players, better team,
better players, but better team. I don't know. Like, look, Sancho. Look, it's just about how it all gels together, and I just do hope that we find that good blend, that good formation, understanding.
I think Southgate still doesn't know his team. He's still struggling in certain areas.
Same players, different manager would do any better.
If you look, I mean, let's just have a little discussion on Trent. Do you think he should have got dropped? I don't think. I think with what he's done over the last couple of years, I think he deserved a place in that team.
Yeah, all jokes aside on Trent, obviously putting the club thing aside, it was harsh for him to get completely dropped. Right, I think and like players like Trippier and Walker, like we kind of know what they bring to the table, and like I think that but I think Trent just needs to. I think the stat is he's given the ball away more than anyone in the Premier League this season, and I think it's than any other fullback. I'm not sure whether it's definitely any other player, but the next stat, I'm not sure whether it's just for fullbacks, but it's 4 times as many as any other fullback. So it's just.
Do you know what? I've looked at that as well, and I've looked at that stat, and sometimes your manager, the game evolves around what the manager wants for you to do in that 90 minutes. And I know that the type of football that clubs are playing now is minute by minute. Every minute they expect you to be at a certain position, and when you're at that place, they expect you to do certain things with the ball at that point. I'm just thinking maybe a lot of the times Klopp wants him to play that ball in, and a lot of the times he doesn't get to the right player, because when you're crossing the ball, there's 2 or 3 players in front of you. You're probably going to get 1 in 4, which is going to be absolutely pinpoint accuracy.
So you're saying it's not Trent? It's just the way that Gareth Southgate wants to play football. Trent doesn't fit in there.
No, what I'm saying, if Southgate's dropped him because he didn't think he's been playing that well football, I think with Liverpool, Trent could probably not release the ball, but he has to release the ball at that time. And sometimes you get in there, and sometimes you don't. It's not always you're going to be in that position. He's lost the ball.
Defensively, though, I don't think Trent has been.
I agree.
Go on.
Definitely agree with you. I think defensively he needs to work on that, but with Liverpool, with the club he plays for, I don't think they're too concerned that much on his defensive duties.
Well, they did it before. I think now is probably a bit of a concern because they're leaking more goals, aren't they? Liverpool, since the injuries. A few more comments still on Liano Jesse. He said he wears number 14 for a reason. It's because he's twice as good as Ronaldo.
Wow.
A couple of good games for West Ham, and all of a sudden he's the new Ronaldo. Brilliant. Okay, so we're going on to a few games. We're going to England. Who's England got next? Do you know, Bidan?
Albania at 5 o'clock today.
So England, to be honest, the group they've got, what is it? Albania, Poland, Hungary, San Marino. They've got no problems in qualifying.
Yeah, they should win. Well, maybe 10 out of 10. I mean, unless Lewandowski produces some sort of masterclass in Poland, you'd expect us to win all 10, to be honest with you. But you never know.
I think progression is, for England, progression is more important than trying to win every single game. What they tend to do is win these games, and then when they get to the actual knockout stages, they get knocked out. There's not enough from England. I mean, have we even in that semi-final, did England actually deserve to go through?
No.
They had the easiest path for England for a while to get to the final, and it was Croatia, wasn't it? Correct me, was it?
Yeah, it was Croatia.
Yeah, and
we just absolutely didn't hope.
Yeah,
the problem is that they had we talk about quality, and we talk about being able to manage the game, players being able to manage the game. Like Modric was like that night, just absolutely. He knew when to hold the ball. He knew when to play it. He just had all that experience. And it was, that's where we fell, and we just couldn't keep hold of the ball. and they wore us down. I know we took the lead, but that was through a set piece, so it was not. Didn't count, maybe.
I think the other thing is that the media has a big part to play in this as well.
Oh, God.
If you look at it, we have got a habit of overdoing it with our English footballers. He might be a 20-year-old, but we've already said he's world class and he's going to do this, going to do that. Sometimes, like, we're just not up to that standard. I mean, Declan Rice.
Yeah, but look, just on the media, look, and I'm not, just talking in general about things that have just been happening like over the years or even just this week. The media is just there for one thing, to just try and sell clicks or to try and get people to read and all that kind of stuff. So all of this football's coming home and all that kind of stuff. This summer as well, like the semi-finals and final at Wembley, it's lockdown. Lockdown is going to be finished by that point, hopefully.
Yeah.
So the actual, for the pressure, like, did you hear that apparently Southgate's saying he's going to get everyone to deactivate their social accounts for the tournament, which I think is brilliant. I mean, he says it's too much of a distraction, but I think that's a great thing to do because, especially with what Thierry Henry did this week as well.
Yeah, we were mentioning that he's banned. He's saying he's not going on any social media. Is that correct?
That's brilliant because he's right. Copyright infringement, they are over you like anything within seconds of it. So, like, you can upload a goal. A goal has been scored. You upload it to Instagram, you upload it to Facebook or Twitter, and then it says this media has been disabled by the copyright owner. But obviously, if there's certain emojis going up, they just stay up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look, the media, the media is just, people unfortunately are influenced by them, and they don't do it for the greater good. They do it for their own purposes. So
of course, they sell their newspapers, and sometimes if they or newspapers or social media activity increases, and some of it's just untrue, and that's the disappointment.
We don't want to hype up the players, but look, I mean, like the footballing press, like even the sort of your more higher brow people, your analysts and stuff like that. It just depends how our players are, the form of the players going into the tournament. I do one thing I've always said that is great about Southgate is that he does not pick on sentiment. So, like, for example, he probably wouldn't have sent Rooney to the 2006 World Cup given that he was coming off a metatarsal break, or Beckham to Euro 2004. He was coming off an injury or whatever. Or, sorry, World Cup 2002. So I think that at least Southgate can pick on form. So, if Mason Mount, if Phil Foden, or maybe like, let's say Maguire, who I do think gets a bad rap. He's not as bad as people say he is. Let's say Maguire's out of form, or he's what? No, honestly, I think that Maguire and this is a different topic. I think Maguire and Lindelof do all right in games, but they only ever pick up on the mistakes. Look, Maguire, like whether he's worth 80 million, whether blah blah blah, that's a different discussion. But let's say Maguire is coming into the tournament, he's not looking great, and he's not, he's at a bad end of season, then he probably would get dropped. I mean, like, who comes in? I don't know, because who's other than Stones, who's having a good. Who is centre half? He's having a good time for England.
What do you reckon about the Wolves player? I know we're off topic now. Cody Rhodes. Cody, what's his name?
Connor Cody.
Connor Cody, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's is he? Look, he's come in. He's done all right, like when he's played for England, but he's not had any major tests. As he's just been playing like friendlies, and I don't know. I mean, look, Joe Gomez was obviously very good for England before he got his injury, but Southgate won't pick him with him not having played a full season.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect him to be playing, I think, for the next.
Well, another defender he's dropped was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's not in the squad, is he?
Yeah, and I find that surprising because, like, defensively, if you need to close out, let's say we go against Mbappe. He's the one against Mbappe in the Parc des Princes, right? He took care of him. Of him. Old Trafford was a different thing, but Neymar, Wan-Bissaka and Neymar didn't get past. Neymar and Mbappe did not get past Wan-Bissaka once in the Champions League at the Parc des Princes when we played PSG. So defensively, if you need to close out,
he's your man, isn't he?
And decide to park the bus, then he'd be perfect. And I think that, like I said, like Trippier, I don't know. I mean, look, Trippier's got good distribution. Sorry, go on.
One thing I've realised is, football has changed over the last sort of last few years. I mean, you know, defenders like Van Bissaka, they used to love footballers like that because they used to defend. That's their job and that's what they do. But nowadays, I think we're going more into defenders who can attack, who can pass the ball a certain way or pass it to, you know. So we're changing the game, and we're trying to take, I think, a little bit more of a risk with
that point you're making. There is no better illustrated than our choice of goalkeeper, because we're not going for the goalkeeper who's the best shot stopper, and that's like, you know, I know this sounds like Roy Keane, but it's his job to stop the ball. Do you know
Of course
what I mean?
it is, yeah.
So it's like,
of course.
Pickford is being picked because of his distribution, and look, I've seen Pickford do some insane passes out from the back. Yeah, he's not as good as Edison, but there's times where I've just seen him run onto a ball, absolutely welly it, and it just goes right to the wing. He arrows it onto the wing, and the Everton player, whoever plays for them, just controls it and goes on it. But as a shot stopper, he's dodgy, and we know this. He messes up at least once in every 3 or 4 games.
Well,
badly.
He's weighing it up.
Like,
is he going to create more goal than he's going to let one in?
And that's the situation.
Okay.
You've got Pope, who's like decent shot stopper.
Yep.
Though he's, you know, not in amazing form, but he's decent. But Henderson, like, his clean sheet ratio for United is off the scale. He's like, since De Gea, I mean, like, the amount of clean sheets that we've kept, and I think we've kept 6 in 7. And obviously Henderson messed up for one of those against AC Milan, but his clean sheet ratio has been through the charts. So he's looking like the best.
His distribution is pretty good as well, actually. Henderson has seen through his game.
It's all right. Yeah.
Give him a chance. That's what I say. Look, you know, he is at top. You know, he's playing the best sort of football he's playing right at the moment. He's done for the last sort of a year anyway. So give the guy a chance. I think that's what I say.
Okay, fine. Look, we've got a few minutes left. Schedule's just gone all over the place, to be honest, because I wanted to talk a bit about cricket first and then finish off football. But Bidan, Image reckons you don't know nothing about other than football. I disagree. So cricket, are you a cricket man?
A bit. Obviously, it's India v England, and I've been.
You've been watching?
My eye.
What's the latest score? Because this is a decider today, isn't it?
Yeah, you put me on the spot. I was watching France v Kazakhstan.
It's 192 for 6.
192 for 6.
Notes. Yeah, look, we've only got a minute left. I thought we had a couple of minutes, but sorry, we've only got a minute. Listen, it's been great, Bidan. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
you. Hopefully, we'll speak to you again next week and to get you back on. And take care of yourself.
Didn't get a chance to discuss Formula One.
No Formula One or cricket, but hopefully next week.
I said to my friend, Red Bull have got the fastest car this year, and he goes, it's not surprising, it's meant to give you wings. So
tell you what, this year Formula One for me is going to be interesting. Red Bull
not straightforward
against a Mercedes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna make it.
We will go on. Start with Formula One next week. We'll start with Formula One next week. Right,
Bidan. See you guys next week.
Take care of yourself, buddy. Thanks. Bye. That was Bidan. Thank you very much, Arif. Thank you very much, everyone, to the listeners.
Quality show. You know.
See you next week, inshallah.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.